Good morning, children. My name is Shravan Kumar. My qualification is MSc B.Ed. I'm having 13 years of experience, and I'm here to teach you physics. Okay. As this is of 8th class. Okay. Up to 7th class, you are familiar with the general science. That general science means the science in which all the biology chapters as well as physics chapters and chemistry chapters are included. But whereas in this class, that is 8th class, from this 8th class, the total science is divided into two types. That is physical science and biological science. Physical science and biological science. Okay. And here, this physical science and biological science. What is this physical science? That means in the physical science, you will be having of physics as well as chemistry. Physics as well as chemistry. Physics and chemistry. In physics, we will be having of the terms which are related to the nature. That means how the force, what is friction, what is sound, what is light. All these terms we will be learning in the physical science. And in the and you will be learning in that is in the physics. Whereas in the chemistry, you will be learning about all the chemical terms. Chemical properties of the elements, what is an atom, all that we will be learning in the chemistry. That means the science which is related to all the drugs and chemists, it is called as the chemistry. And all the science which is related to the nature, it is called as the physics. And whereas the biological science is the science in which bio means life. Bio means life. Therefore, all the science which is related to the life, it is called as the biological science. Okay. And here in this biological science, again you will be learning about the zoology and botany. What do you mean by this zoology? Zoology is the science which deals with the life of animals, the history of animals. Okay, related to animals. Okay, animal kingdom, related to animal kingdom is called as the zoology. Whereas the botany means here the science which is related to the plants, it is called as the botany, related to plants. And here in this we will be related to the animals. This is about the physical science and biological science. In this physical science, I will be teaching you physics. Okay. This part I will be teaching. Okay. This part I will be teaching. What is this physics? Okay. The terms, the physical terms, all the science which is related to the phenomena of nature, that is called as the physics. Okay. In this physics, okay. Coming to the physics, okay. What are the chapters that you are having in physics in your 8th class? Now I will say the chapters which are there in physics for your class. Okay. Now look at here. In physics, in 8th class, in physics chapter, in physics subject, there are 7 chapters. Totally there are 12 chapters. Out of the 12 chapters, you are having of the 7 chapters are of the physics. Then what are the 7 chapters? What are the 7 chapters that are in physics? That is, just look at here. Chapters of physics. Chapters of physics. First one, first chapter itself is force. This is the first chapter that is there in your textbook. Next, friction, second chapter. Friction is the second chapter that is there in the 8th class. Next one you are having of sound chapter. Sound chapter is the 5th chapter that is there in the 8th class. Okay, sound is the 5th chapter. Reflection of light. Reflection of light at plane surfaces. That is the 6th chapter. Next, some natural phenomena. Some natural phenomena is the 10th chapter. Stars and solar system. Stars and solar system. It is the 11th. Graphs and motion. Graphs of motion. This is the 12th chapter. Okay. Out of the 12 chapters in physical science textbook, okay, force, friction, sound, reflection of light at plane surfaces, some natural phenomena, stars and solar system, graphs of motion are the 7 chapters that you are having in physics for 8th class. Okay. Now, listen here. First, I will be explaining about what is the force. Okay, just I will give the introduction about the force today. Okay, in this first chapter is the force. Okay, what do you mean by force? What do you mean by force? Normally, when you push and apply, when you push an object, okay, or when you drag an object, okay, the push or pull, that is called as the force. In order to move an object, we will be applying some force. Then what do you mean by the force? Force is nothing but it is the push or pull of an object. Okay, force is the push or pull of an object is called as a force. Push or pull of an object which tends to change the shape, which tends to change the shape of an object is called force. What do you mean by force? Force is the push or pull of an object which tends to change the shape of an object or size of an object. It is called as the force. Therefore, where we apply this force? What are the examples where we apply the force? Normally, when you are dragging of water from the well, we apply the pull of the rope. That is called as the pulling. Or when during of the 15th August or 26th January, normally the chief guest who is coming to the school, they hoist the flag. During the hoisting of the flag, they will be pulling of the thread such that the flag is hoisted. Okay, that is nothing but it is the pulling of an object. Okay, normally when you brush your teeth in the morning, when you brush your teeth, normally we apply the force like this. Okay, into your teeth, into your mouth, okay, and again we will be dragging, pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling. That is called as the force. Okay, the push pull of an object is called as the force. And in the same way, I am using of duster. I am using the duster. Normally duster is used in order to rub the board. Okay, in order to rub the board I am using of the duster. That is, I will be using of the duster pushing as well as pulling. Pushing as well as pulling. Therefore, the push and pull of an object is called as the what? It is called as the force. Normally, a person who want to dig the mud, okay, he'll be applying, force. That means he'll be digging with the crowbar. Okay, while he is digging with the crowbar, he is pushing. Okay, this is called as the pushing. Pushing of an object. That is called as the what? It is called as the force. Okay, or normally sometimes in your classroom you will be pushing of the benches, or some of them will be dragging the benches. They will be pulling of the benches. Okay, therefore the pushing or pulling of an object, it is called as the what? Force. Okay, and here these forces are divided into mainly of two types. Okay, mainly of two types. Types of forces. Types of forces. What are the main types of the forces? The forces are divided into two types. That is mainly, first one is contact force. Contact force. Okay, contact force. What do you mean by this contact force? Okay, contact force. The force which is exerted on an object by the external force. The force which is exerted on an object by the external force, it is called as the contact force. Normally, in order to drag a bench, we apply the force. By pulling, by keeping our hands on the bench, we are pulling it. Therefore, that is nothing but, it is called as the what? Contact force. Okay, it is called as the contact force. Why? Because we are applying, directly we are applying the hands on the bench. Normally, when you are pushing of a person, we apply the force. We apply the force by our hands on that person. Therefore, that is called as the physical contact. We are applying the force with the physical contact. Therefore, that is called as the that is called as the contact force. Okay. Normally, when you are playing of a football, when you are playing of a cricket, okay, we use direct force. That means the pressure that is applied on the ball by the bat directly. That is called as the contact force. Or when you are playing of football, directly we will be kicking off the ball by using our legs. Therefore, that is called as the physical contact. The force which is exerted on an object. The force which is exerted on an object by the physical contact is called contact force. Okay, here example: force applied on a ball by the bat. Force applied by the football player on the ball. Okay, that is called as a contact force. Okay. Next we are having of the other one is non-contact